It's Yobachi 2007 getting back at you. We've got another Kendra G live here. This time we're going to take a look at one of the fellas. And in this instance, we're going to move around the YouTube a little bit, and we're going to get an update in a different way than you would normally expect to get an update on one of these lives. But let's get it started, and then we'll talk about it.
Hi.
Hi, Kendra. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
Gene.
Gene, where you calling us from?
Hoboken, New Jersey.
From where?
Hoboken, New Jersey.
Hoboken? I'm just going to say New Jersey, child. How old are you, Gene?
51.
51. Do you have any kids?
One daughter, 10 years old.
One daughter. Okay.
All right. Now we're going to move that along a little bit so we can get the most pertinent information but not be here all day hearing every little tidbit.
Guess what you married for again?
I was married for 6 years.
Married for 6 years, and he works for pharma. All right, Gene, what kind of woman are you looking for?
We're doing live instead of editing.
You said what? What did you say first?
Optimistic. Fit.
Fits. Okay, fits.
Live to be
fun, optimistic. Beyond that, a lot of the, avoid the negatives, smoking, drinking. Well, not heavy drinking, smoking, stuff like that.
So any more deal breakers?
No kids if she's looking to get married.
No kids. Okay, so you want to get married, but you don't want to have any more kids. Oh, she can't have kids.
If she wants to get married, no kids.
Well, you're 51. What's the age?
So before we get into that, he's laid out his requirements, and these are pretty simple. He's just looking for somebody who's fit, who's fun to be around. He doesn't want kids for a woman who he's not getting married to, right? If he already has his own child, but he's not looking to have to bring somebody else into his home. So he's looking for a woman who is coming without children. If he's going to have children, it's going to be if he's going to get married. This is pretty straightforward. Sounds good to me. These are his requirements. This is what this guy wants for his life. What's the problem? Let's listen a little bit more. Of course, there's got to be a problem when a man has any standards or any requirements at all whatsoever.
What age you want to date?
Let's say 30 to 45.
Okay, so you want to go 30 to 45. So do you want more kids?
I'd have another kid if the woman that I was with wanted one. Sure.
Okay. But, so basically, do you want to get married again?
If I'm marrying, it would be for kids. And I'm not against that. I just kind of recognize if I marry someone who's younger, then probably we'd have kids. If I married someone who's older, kids is probably not going to be part of the equation.
Okay. No pushback. I'm just curious. So you said you'll marry a woman, but she can't have children already. Do you want to just explain to the women why that is a rule for you?
We're going to kind of go ahead and move past it. He talks about it. He gets into this whole thing, but it's what we understand it to be, that he's not looking to have new children just to have a relationship and bring somebody else's children into his world where he has to take care of another woman's kids. And if he is going to have kids, he wants to go ahead and get married. So she's not looking to get married. Doesn't want her bringing her child. He wants his own children with his woman. No problem there, right? Of course, there's a problem. A man's requiring it. But let's listen a little bit more.
Well, I'm assuming that whoever I was with is going to be coming into the relationship probably making a lot less than I am. So...
Is that because you don't want a woman that can make more than you?
No, I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. I just don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, because you make that much money.
I do well. Well, for the most part, it's women typically want men who make more than them. And the higher up you go, the harder it is for people to pair up. It's much easier as a guy to meet someone who makes less. A lot.
So he's just spitting straight facts here. What's the debate? Hypergamy. Women talk about it all the time. Almost every one of these women who come on these online dating shows or on these any of these discussion shows, and the ones in real life in person, want a man to come with bank. They want him to pay for all the dates. This is just starting the date up front. They want him from day one to pay for things. And a great many of them think they should be able to sit at home and not work and have their whole life paid for, or make very little money, 20%, 30%, And if they do make money, they think it should all go for spending on their personal lifestyle, while all the man's money should go to spending on them as well. Her money is her money and your money is her money. So what's the complaint here with this requirement? Well, of course there are complaints with this requirement because it's a man requiring it. We go down here to the comments and we can see Layla Lynn from her own very popular show, Layla Tells It All. I think that's the name of it, but you can look up Layla Lynn, and she has a very popular celebrity discussion show. And she starts with the sign language, the shaming. Basically, he wants a low-income housewife, but he's not going to make her a wife unless she's young and gets pregnant. And what's the problem? And he doesn't need a housewife. So I forgot to give the rest of the information. He goes on to say that he's a top 5% earner. If he's a top 5% earner, that means he's making well into the multi-hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And he said specifically, a woman can come in, she can live whatever kind of lifestyle she wants. If she wants the housewife lifestyle, which so many of these women say they want, we've seen them come up on every program that we watch here in the relationship verse. Definitely on Kevin Samuels, they all wanted to be housewives. He's saying, I got you. If you want to live that lifestyle, you can live that lifestyle. If you want to work, you can work. I've got the whole household. I'm handling the bills regardless. So he's giving women what they claim they want, but of course that's still a problem. They still come with the shaming, the insults, the sign language. Let's go look at some more. So it's a couple of fellas. Here's another one of the women's comments. He doesn't want a single mom, but yet he created a single mom. Wow, the audacity. No, he didn't. He created a mother and a wife. She chose to become a single mom. That's her choice. And so there's no issue here. This is not something that he's created. There's no reason in the world why a man should be required to take on someone else's children. If that's not what he wants, that's not what he wants. If single moms want to get big mad about that because men don't want to take them, so in one post, you've got a woman shaming him for being willing to provide a woman the housewife lifestyle. The next post, you have a woman shaming him because he won't give the housewife lifestyle to single moms. And that's what this is about, that he doesn't want certain women, and these women are big mad. But he doesn't have to want to raise another man's child. You chose to lay down with somebody else and not be with them. That's not his problem. All right. This isn't a lifestyle any woman would want. What a joke. Nearly every woman asks for that lifestyle. It's just insane. They can't even be honest, most of them, most of the time. She can't have a child from a previous relationship if she's looking to get married, but he has a 10-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. Shakes my head. The double standards are wild out here. First of all, nobody loves double standards more than women. The only time they have a problem with the double standard is when it goes against them. Any double standard that benefits them, they do backflips in order to enforce. Second of all, this is really not even a double standard, because it's the reason why it's not is because of the double standard that favors women. When men bring a child to the relationship, we don't require the woman to pay for our child and to invest into the child. Unlike women, who will always require a man to pay for her child. No matter, even if she says she's not requiring it, even if the child's father is involved, in the end, the woman will always come to you wanting you to pay for things for her child. And if you don't, believe me, it's going to be a big problem. She's not just going to be hurt. She's going to be butthurt, and she's going to be pissy. It's, don't tell my child nothing. That's my child. But then when Christmas rolls around and he wants the new $300 newest edition of Xbox, and you be like, you just said that's not my child, right? That's what you said. So I'm not going to spend my money up on your kid. Oh, you won't spend on my child. You don't love my child. You won't treat my child the same you treat yours. And blah, 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 blah. That's what you'll get. So this is the nonsense. Okay, now we're going to move to another part of YouTube, and we're going to see something interesting. So hold on here while I set that up. All right, so got the next video set up, and we have our sister DeeDee here. Hold on, let me try something. All right, we've got DeeDee here. She's about to bring a guest up who you're going to recognize. So let's go with this, see what's popping.
Baby. All right. What's up? How are you?
DeeDee, hi, how are you?
I'm good. What's your name?
Gene.
Gene. How are you, Gene? You good?
Yes, I am good. Very good.
What question? Did you have a question?
I had a comment more for the guys, kind of
Okay.
encouraging the guys to keep hope. Everybody complains about dating being a mess, and I don't disagree with that. I was leaving a comment was in your chats with some of the guys, and I just wanted to share something. So I was on a dating show a couple of weeks ago, and
so, of course, he's referencing the Kendra G live show that we just watched. And this is 2 weeks later. So now he's come up on DeeDee's show. It was really like about two weeks and 2 days later. It was really just a couple weeks behind. And so he's coming back. He's ready to give us a report. So check out what he has to say here. DeeDee apparently did not see that episode of Kendra G live. We know she does watch it sometimes because she's reviewed some of the episodes, some of the people who've come up. But she apparently was not familiar with this particular episode because she had no recognition of Gene. And he doesn't mention specifically that it's Kendra G, but as soon as I saw him, I knew who he was.
And I got a lot of responses. Many of them were kind of wasted time. Weren't what I specified I was looking for. But I did find two really good women out of all of the responses and am pursuing something more serious with one of them. So to the guys who feel like it's hopeless, you can find someone. Might be a lot of work. I was kind of surprised at 200 responses and only two women who actually fit what I was looking for, but it's possible. So if you're nervous about going on a show, do it. Kind of understand there can be some problems, but fundamentally, if your goal is to find someone who you can spend time with, it does work for that.
Right.
So Pete Game here, he's saying that these women jumped in his inbox, and after they talked all that trash that we just read, and the board was full of mostly that. No women wanted to give him credit for anything. They said he was controlling because he didn't want a woman who made a bunch of money, which he explained again. He wanted someone where they had time for him. He already has a high-powered career. Got two people with high-powered careers. There's no time for a relationship. But he's controlling. He doesn't want a woman to have a career, which he said a woman can work if she wants to, but she didn't have to. She could go either way. He didn't care. The point was he wanted a woman to have who has time for him, which is probably the way he should have stated it anyway. That's kind of I made that point. But either way, after all that trash the women talk, 200 of them still jumped up in his inbox. So he's giving us data. He's giving us feedback on how the process went. And he says out of 200, only 2 met requirements. Out of 200, 1% could meet standards. And that shows you, it demonstrates clearly that's why they were big mad on the comments on Kendra G's live. Because they don't meet standards and they're mad. They're always mad when they can't meet a man's standards. He has plenty to offer and they can't get it. And that's why they were mad. Not because there's anything wrong with him. But of course, they're going to come with the shaming, the sign language, shaming, insults, guilt. And they always need to be right, of course. Let's check out some more of what Eugene had to say.
Understand there can be some problems, but fundamentally, if your goal is to find someone who you can spend time with, it does work for that.
Right. Yeah, that's why I say keep trying. It might be hard, might look like it's impossible, but you may find somebody. There is hope. You gotta have hope. You gotta have faith that because I think there are still good women out there. Just like I believe that I know that there are good men. I know that there are some good women. You just gotta get to the good ones and, kind of weed past the bad ones that's sitting right there. So yeah, just keep trying. I think if you know you have something to offer, you know, and she has something to offer, you should be able to find something.
And that's the problem for most of these women. They know they have little to nothing to offer. Or even if they do, they have major deficits. They're coming with two different dudes, children, trying to bring them to a man who's built himself up to have something and to be somebody. And he's not going to let you bring little people in his house to disrespect him and tell him that you can't tell, that you're not allowed to tell them nothing because those are not your children. Who is going to allow that in their household? Not any real man. Any man is going to be the head of his household. It's not going to have a woman direct him on how he's going to conduct his household. And of course, again, they always want you to pay for those children. Well, they gave it away to Pookie and Ray Ray for free. But you got to pay for his kids while the dads don't. And they got the good stuff for free. Now you're so-called a Christian, but you don't return any tithe and offering. You barely go to church, but you're a Christian now who's celibate. He has to wait, indefinitely till marriage while he pays for $50, $75, $100 dates for you, gets nothing in return, and he gets to buy your kids birthday presents, Christmas presents, expensive ones, takes them on trips, and pay for their football fees and any field trips they want to go on and everything else, and buy them Jordans. He gets the privilege of doing all this for absolutely nothing in return. This is the problem, and they get big mad when men set standards. Keep your standards, brothers.
Somebody somewhere, hopefully.
Yeah. The weeding process, though, is a little bit more, it might be more work than guys are expecting. I mean, for perspective.
Right.
I got 200 responses, and out of 200 responses, there were 2 women who were actually, like, good choices.
Right.
So,
you still don't know how that's going to turn out. You don't know what they're going to be. So yeah, I mean, it's you know, it is what it is. We got to keep hope alive. That's what I say. Keep hope alive.
That's a good way of putting
all
it.
you can do. And this is what I want to ask you: are you looking for marriage? Are you looking to be married?
You know what's funny? So when I went on this is something I learned in these last 2 weeks. Now, when I went on the show, I was looking for a woman, and I kind of said, look, 1 or 2 things could work for me. Like, if a woman wants to get married, okay, that's a woman who I would need to be starting a family with. I am very much in the camp now that marriage isn't worth it. If you're not going to have kids, if you're not going to start a family, I don't really see the point of getting married.
Right.
And the other camp was, for women who are older and have kids and they just want, someone to enjoy life with. Like, okay, either of those 2 buckets.
Okay.
Nobody wanted just a life partner. Every single woman who responded wanted to get married. And I thought, okay, I get that, but I was very clear. If you have kids, it's not going to happen. And I want someone who's in shape. I'm in shape.
Right.
That's a big.
Was that hard to find somebody who was in shape?
We know this.
Okay, so out of the
getting ready to give us some more good data, but look how he had to take a breath on all those things. Look how they don't meet standards, but they don't care. They're going to forge ahead. They're going to insult him. They're going to try to shame him, but they're going to forge ahead with trying to get with him. Because of course, a woman, unlike that comment that we looked at, plenty of women wanted this lifestyle. 200 of them wanted this lifestyle. That was just up to that point. But of course, they don't meet standards, but they don't care. They're going to try to force themselves on you anyway.
200 women who responded. Let's say roughly 130 were heavy-set single mothers. So out of 200...
130. That's 65%. 130. 200 out of 200. Divide 130 by 2. 65%.
130. You're like, well, is this really what the world is like now? Okay, let me just kind of move all of them to the side.
That sounds about right.
That shocked me. It shocked me that those 2 criteria are so hard to find in a woman.
Shouldn't shock you, Eugene. He said a little bit more, but it's about to wrap up. We're at 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and end this. But yeah, just see just looking at what's out here, man. It's crazy. But it's good that we got Eugene to come back up. Not only did he have his results, but he had some data for us to look at. Only 2% met standards overall, and 65% violated just two of the basic standards. They couldn't, keep their most precious gift to wait for the man that they were going to marry or be in shape. It's crazy. It's crazy. You'll watch your 2007. I'm out.
If you wouldn't mind taking a moment, go ahead and like and subscribe for me. Like this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can come back for more. It'll really help me out with the algorithm and help this channel to grow and keep getting this message out to you. Like and subscribe. Thanks.